Thanks, Ann. For the record, this email was sent to Franklin Solivka, on the chairman of this commission, on Friday, June 23rd at 3:46 p.m. And it has the signature page for the grant, should we approve it, a cover letter, and a resolution. These all should have been printed by the chairman for today's meeting, and I'd like to submit this for the record. There you go.
Okay, resolution, whereas Broadwater County is applying to the Montana Department of Commerce for a community development block grant, planning grant for the purpose of updating the Broadwater County growth policy, Broadwater County capital improvement plan, and the Broadwater County flood plan ordinance, and whereas Broadwater County is applying for a $37,000 grant for the preparation of the growth policy update, capital improvement plan update, and floodplain ordinance updates, and whereas Broadwater County provided party 3-to-1 match to providing match of $12,500 for the preparation of described document, and whereas Broadwater County agrees to conform with the regulations, status, terms, and conditions described in CDBG planning grant guidelines application, and that Franklin Solivka chairman is authorized to sign the application of Montana Department of Commerce and WWC Engineering, and to authorize it to submit this application to the Montana Department of Commerce on behalf of Broadwater County to act on behalf of Broadwater County and to provide such additional information as be required.
I will move that we pursue the grant, CDBG grant for the county growth policy, floodplain, and capital improvement plans, and sign the resolution to that effect.
I'll second that motion.
Moved and second to approve this grant, and just read off. Vote for vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
You're not approving the grant, Franklin, we are approving the application and the resolution, as stated in the motion.
Okay, I'll go ahead and, let's see, adopt this day, second day. It's all 7/7s right now. 7/17, 27.
And those things you should wait until we address it on the agenda, unless you're going to change the agenda and address them now.
We already approved that, so I'm signing the rest of it.
Franklin, you just had a public hearing for the resolution. The motion was to sign the resolution. The other matters that you have in front of you, that we can sign the resolution, Mike, but Franklin's moving on to the title page and the support letter. Those are on the agenda at 2:15. If you want to move those forward, please do so, and we can go ahead and follow the process to get them signed. But you can't just go signing without addressing it on the agenda.
Okay, the decision to adopt a resolution to utilize community development block grant to update county growth policy, floodplain, and capital improvement plan.
Franklin, on line 1 at 1 o'clock, it says, public hearing to adopt a resolution.
Yeah, we had, there was,
You've been a commissioner for 4.5 years. I can't believe we're going around the maypole on this one.
oh, I don't know. What difference, okay, well, what do you want then? We've already agreed.
I want to
with it.
follow the law.
Okay, we had the public hearing, and we did the decision to, the motion was made to community grant, which we just signed.
Approve the resolution.
And then the other one is at 2:15, community development block grant approval to apply and support for growth policy, floodplain, and capital improvement plan decision.
Are you moving that to now?
Well, I guess what else we're gonna do with it? We've already done the public hearing and the motion been made to adopt the resolution.
That's fine, since you're moving the agenda item, I will move that we sign the support letter and the signature page for the Community Development Block Grant.
I'll second the motion.
Move to second to send the letter and sign applicant certification. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Okay, we'll move on to the Broadwater County Cemetery cost policies.
So thanks, Mike, for doing the homework on this. I read through what we have, and per our agreement, you did this homework, I'll go ahead and write up the policy. But I just want to clarify a couple of things. I know you each have copies. For the headstones, I'm thinking A and C, we go ahead and keep in our policy, but I don't think we need B. I mean, if somebody wanted to put up a great big marble headstone, I'd be for it. I don't see it's gonna happen, but,
Yeah, I don't see why you would,
okay. And then for footstones and other monuments or stones, it says must be flat and level at the ground. Probably for, we could do that. I don't think it makes a difference. If it's not a headstone, it could be flat for easy mowing.
yeah.
That's the reason for it.
Cremating cremation remains. It says maybe placed on existing graves. I think we should just specify that, of family members or loved ones with permission of the family, something
Yeah,
like that.
I think that's probably a good idea.
Okay,
Or that we could sell lots 3 or 4 times.
exactly. Prior to internment, consult with the official of the county, of the cemetery board. That, of course, will just say county. Flower beds. I don't think we need to worry about D. Doing commercial ground edging or concrete curbing.
No.
Okay, good. Plants left on graves or interfere with maintenance or mowing can be removed, may be removed after 10 days. And then maximum height of a hanging basket, I don't think those are things we need to worry about. Any thoughts? Okay. Artificial arrangements and cut plants, I think we just do all 3. I don't think glass is a good idea. And just throw all
Yeah.
3 into our policies. All vehicles shall remain on established roadways. And then they charge $300. The Catholic cemetery charges $300. I say we just keep it at 3. What do you guys
The
think?
Catholic was, cemetery was, they said that they did charge 300, but they were considering going up to 450 or 5. But I think I agree that we should stay at 3.
I
Okay.
checked with Radersburg, and here's what they got, they sell like one lot, there'll be 6 burials in it, that's $100. Or a half a lot, which would handle 3 burials, is $50. I know they said maybe we should go up some, but they're pretty reasonable there.
And then the other thing that Bernadette brought forward is that we reserve, I Bernadette, is it the top little box that you
Yes.
mentioned? Is it this one?
Yes,
We reserve this for indigent burials.
Right, because there's already two in there.
Yeah, I think we
Okay.
already decided that, didn't we?
yeah, visited
Not
on
officially,
it,
but this should go
right.
in the policy,
Yeah.
so it's known to everyone. So block A.
Block A.
Yeah, that's good with you guys. Anything we're missing that you can think of?
I don't think so, not as far as policy.
And then, all right, I'll just have
Did
this
you ever
typed
look
up
around
for
what the
next week
oldest
then.
date is in there? Or did you ever?
I did, but I don't recall what it was now. But they're fascinating to read. The
Yeah, but
museum or someone did a whole report on all the burials out there and kind of a history behind some of them.
Oh, is that right?
And it's very amazing to read. I made a copy of it and I was going to bring it in or maybe have it filed with it or something, just so it's a
That's a
permanent
great
record.
idea.
Great idea.
Yeah,
Because I don't know who compiled all that history, but it's amazing.
You got it at the museum, you did? You said?
Well, it was, yeah, online, some museum, a cemetery organization did it.
Oh,
But it talks about like the Marks, one of the old Marks graves out there and how he came across in a covered wagon and, I mean, just goes into a lot of little detail like that. It's
Wow.
really interesting. But I thought, just to preserve it, I, was gonna talk to Ann about filing it right with the plat, so it would kind of remain with it
mm-hmm.
for another 50 years from now.
you know, if we could also get a copy and put it in with the policy, I think that would be great.
Okay.
To
I'll
do
that.
both.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
I'll print out a
Give
few
them a copy,
copies.
we'll make,
right?
whatever.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay, I will.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, the Winston Cemetery, do we want to block off an area for indigent there too, do you think?
We can, we're busy like locating,
Okay.
all the existing like we did here first. And then we can plan out areas.
Okay,
So it'll probably kind of go just like this where we'll board off the existing area or divide it off and then just start a whole new plan where there's no accidental
okay,
digging up some grave that's not marked or something.
right, yeah. So for this one, for this policy, we'll just make it for Centerville Cemetery and then just change
I think
it
we
slightly
make
for
it-
the next one?
Just make it, write it as for all, common policy for all of them, I would think.
For all county
For all
cemeteries?
county cemeteries, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, you could
All right.
specify just the block A for the indigents of the Centerville.
Yeah,
And then maybe add, that one later,
we could do
once
that.
that's done.
is there a board for the Winston Cemetery?
You're sitting on it.
It's us.
What about, actually, the one to get most information be Urban Riss out there.
Yeah, I
Urban
don't-
Riss is 87 years old, Franklin.
Well, I know, but he'd be glad to give you information. I
Oh,
bet he's
yeah,
got
yeah.
a mountain of knowledge, you know.
Right, yeah. Yeah, they're kind of fun to work on,
I bet, yeah, thank
the
you.
history anyways.
All right, I'll have that next week and we'll just, put it back on the agenda if that's okay with you guys.
Okay.
You're gonna just wait and accept everything at the same time?
You mean for this policy? Oh, do we
For
need
the-
to accept this to record it, is that what you're saying?
I think you should.
All right, I will move that we accept and record the Centerville Cemetery, plat as presented.
I'll second the motion.
It's moved or seconded, accept the Centerville Cemetery plot as presented. All in favor?
Aye,
Motion carried.
thanks, Ann.
Mm-hmm. And she's gonna have to bring up the Mylars to
So,
get
Okay.
them.
we're not gonna make a decision yet on the cost of the burial.
I thought we agreed already, but you
That-
guys wanna-
That 300, but you.
Yeah, 300 was the cost, right? Yeah.
No,
we don't
okay.
wanna undercut and we don't wanna gouge, so,
And
the
I will
idea-
get the cemetery sheet for cemetery survey for you to sign.
okay.
I wasn't quite expecting that yet, but I'll get that for you to sign.
That'll be just fine.
I think Nicole has one that I'll be back in.
Okay.
If not, I'll bring it next week.
That'll work.
That'll work.
Okay,
Thanks.
did you want to put that into a motion then at $300 per, not per burial, however you want to word it?
Since we're gonna be voting on the policy next week, as soon as it's written up, now that we've agreed on what's gonna go into it, I'm
Do it
thinking
then.
we just
Yeah, just
adopt
wait
the
till
whole
we get-
policy at once rather than
Okay.
pieces of it.
Fine. Broadwater County parameters for refunding tax overpayments.
I talked to Doug, and it sounds to me like, what the policy is that it goes back 1 year as far as Department of Revenue, goes. And the reason, I guess the thing behind that is that you can only go back 1 year and they can only go back 1 year. So if you've been underpaying your taxes for 20 years and they didn't catch it, they can still only go back a year, and that's the reason why they go the other way, so that you're not coming back in for a 20-year reimbursement if you missed it. So it's equal for both parties there as far as, and that's Department of Revenue's policy, and that's kind of the county policy. The only question I have is, what if some of those, like, it seems to me that Timmy Rickmar told me he had talked to the Department of Revenue 2 years ago about but he didn't
He
do,
didn't follow through.
he would've had
He
to
did.
file something to do that, would he not? I mean, just to set that in motion, that if you talk to him.
Yeah.
So I think you just, that's the only, unless we're gonna start shoveling out a bunch of taxes, money for taxes, cause like Becky down there, I think she was like 5 or 6 years.
Mhm.
So she missed that for, but if it was the other way, you would only get that fine for a year, and I don't know why we would, I mean,
Besides
we
that,
essentially
that
don't
money-
handle it.
That money has been spent.
Yeah,
it's
that's
been
just what Doug
used.
said too, the
Yeah.
money's already spent and gone. And the thing is, like in her case, I don't know why you would sit there when your taxes triple and you don't say anything. So I think you just kinda stay with that 1 year policy, and if,
So what we'll do is we'll have a policy that states whatever deal Department of Revenue will refund will be what you will receive. The
I would
county
think so,
will not.
yeah.
We in the right place?
Okay.
Yep.
Bid opening?
Yep.
So maybe include with that what the steps are, and possibly an article in the paper letting people know to review your tax sheets you just got, make sure they're accurate, and if they're not, these are the steps you take.
And that's, the only problem with that is you're too late already, cause you only have the 15th of July to appeal,
Yeah, that's true,
so you're kinda stuck with what you got right
Okay.
now. But you need to pay attention.
right,
You know, especially like that where you, like Becky, you sell a piece of property and then all of a sudden your taxes go up, I would assume you would realize that something was a little fishy there. So, just taxpayer beware, I guess. And the thing that that kinda gets me about that is that there's no, that's supposed to, what the Department of Revenue is supposed to be doing, isn't it? The
Right.
Appraisals and everything,
right, yeah,
but I guess some of those transfers don't get recorded real quick or something, so they don't have it on the books.
right, yeah.
Well, I will say they go from clerk and recorder's office to DOR
Yeah.
on a timely basis.
Yep. And
Yeah.
then at some point they come back.
All right, I will have a letter then for everybody and email it out so you guys can offer edits. We'll follow through and take care of that next week.
But I think that's the way most of taxes, nobody pays any attention to them. Just,
Yeah,
I don't,
I just look at it and see what the bond is and see how much more money I gotta save.
yeah. 'Cause everybody's telling me, oh, how much, their tax going up every year. I never did, I was gonna check sometime to see what, but I never even did that. It's kinda like when you get fuel, I don't know if you want your receipt,
Yeah.
don't wanna look at it again, you don't even wanna know. Anything else we'll bring up now for the next? Yeah, go ahead.
I have that paper
Oh, you
to
do?
go for the Centerville Cemetery, if you'd like to sign that.
Okay.
No. I only have one option, so. I can't believe we'll ever get for such a disrepair. Can we process fair as much?
Lasted 3 times as longer.
False.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I bought these things when I went to Charme, right when we poured that slab. It's my circle.
They probably last, yeah, but how much more like these have? These have like 8 months.
Is that road that goes up to the sign, the road that they were talking about getting the sign for on Raidersburg? Is that on the state highway or is that on the county road?
It'd be on the highway. That's the one going up to the, where they do the motorcycle, the HV stuff.
So where does that go? Just this south end of the church there?
No, it's back, right where these trailers are, these semi-trailers.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it.
So we gotta request that sign from the highway department.
What's that about?
Hey.
My name.
I suppose,
Just there, kid.
I'm surprised that maybe that,
What do you
they
think
must
about it?
have, well, it's probably pretty loose knit.
I just said.
Group that they have that goes up there all the time, but I don't suppose anything.
Well, it's just anybody can go up there.
Right, but I'm just saying,
People
I
come
guess
out
there
of
is a
town,
sign, but they
they
said
got
that.
Can't see it.
People don't see it or something.
Oh,
Maybe that's what it
Did
is.
you have to order the steel for
And I think
that?
it's
Stick
a
a drive
drive
up.
up.
stick a drive up to the bird and see what's happening.
They're gonna have a sea
Yeah, it was
channel
up there.
stop, but
I didn't, I didn't
when you
have
hear
any
back on
idea about that
Bargrave,
sign.
because the Bargrave stuff,
It's up there,
it's gonna take a little bit of time.
it'd be the
Could you
old
build the whole thing
heating
up,
there.
right?
You know where the old dump used to
think
be,
that's
just
where
where,
it
that's
is.
Mill Street goes there.
Yeah,
then.
Bargrave's gonna have to
Is
be
that what it is, is
built
Mill
for-
Street?
Yeah.
But I can probably, yeah, I can build.
Then
a
it goes up
structure.
to, where the old dump was, then from about another quarter, half a miles where they got the
It's doable.
parking
Sure,
area,
yeah,
and everything
that.
for those
Just don't care,
motorcycles,
it's not that big, I want it.
all that stuff.
Too many jobs going on at the same time.
Yeah.
About every other week, they take the ambulance up there, get someone with a broken arm, broken leg.
He has told me that he thinks it's gonna be at least 2 weeks behind the original schedule on MSU.
Yeah, there's a lot of people,
It must
a
be
lot
in September before he starts.
from the Bozeman way, you know, you can see them
I
coming,
just got an addition on it.
turning that way.
So that's, Jason.
I think there's one, isn't there a
Did
magpie?
you find a new?
I think there is.
I think there's some
Not that I've heard.
ATV or,
Yeah,
ATV
so-
trails, not motorcycle trails.
Oh, I thought it was a motorcycle too.
I think that's just an ATV place up Magpie. It's actually, it's a series of trails, I don't know if they're restricted or not.
Yeah. Sure, send them back to him.
You're getting a lot of these
He's with it.
private ones in, you know, people have a piece of ground, they
Maybe
put these jumps and all that stuff they want, but,
Well, that's what that Bill Adams did up there in Wolf Creek.
oh, there's one on the way to Bozeman too, actually. And I've seen them different places. that's a, be a risky thing, I don't know if you're reliable for any action, you'd have to have it.
It's kind of like
attorney
state,
to draw it up.
well, he's the federal government, there's nothing you can do about it.
No, I mean, these ones do it on the private.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You probably have to sign a waiver.
So are you the ones that deal with, like if a property's an agricultural set aside for subdividing here? Are you guys the ones that vote on changes to that?
You have to start with the planning department.
Yeah,
Didn't realize we even had one. Oh, or
But we ultimately make the decision, yes.
how often do you guys decide it's okay to change that?
It depends. We have a whole lot of different ways that can be changed. So it depends on what process you go through, what you wanna do specifically. That's why Ann said you start with the planning department, they can go ahead and give you all the options, what the
Yeah,
requirements are, and then they bring it to us on your behalf.
okay. I saw that a lot, I saw it a lot as an agricultural set aside.
Yeah, it's pretty close to dog grade.
Close enough. Just right there, kind of right before. Highbury.
So Franklin, if we're not moving ahead yet, I have a couple of things to bring to your attention. One is, I sent this via email, I just wanted to bring it forward for the record. I do have a cause of action, and this is for the Mosted Lane
So I'm thinking of making a.
regarding the subdivision that we postponed
40
last week, and
miles.
also a letter from Ms.
43
Amara
miles, okay.
about what would, she saw happen at the public hearing, her conversations with the county attorney regarding Mosted Road. And so I just wanted to submit those for the public record. You guys have any questions about those?
Corey replied that that was, it's not a decision because it's still sitting in front of Judge Reynolds again, right? So we
Right.
really can't act on that at all. On what we did, we can't act anyway until we get a decision from Reynolds, right?
It asks the planning board again, is the one that'll act after they get a decision from Judge Reynolds, and then that'll come to
Yeah,
us.
so as far as her letter goes, there's not really anything we can do to reverse the decision to approve the subdivision.
Not yet, no, it is in the judge's hands.
Is that-
What he said is it's not a legal decision, but it is a legal process.
is that the
I
one
forget
that
what I
was
called
mailed
it.
to us?
Yeah, that's the one we got in the mail.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I have that.
And then, the other thing is Eric will be here tomorrow tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. And he is requesting an hour, with each of us. If he gets done with one of us in 15 minutes, he'd like the other one available, so he'd like us all to be here around 1:30 and get that process started. And then the last thing, Joe Skinner, Commissioner from Gallatin County, he and Commissioner Wortman from Jefferson County have been trying to coordinate a day to get all three counties together to talk about the Willow Creek. They wanna have a meeting near Willow Creek on the afternoon, coming up, about replacing Williams and/or Meridian bridges. This is the issue we've kind of talked about in the past, and that boundary lines changed because it was defined by the river, rivers change. That's why we no longer define boundary lines by rivers. But we're still engaged with them, so, this was sent to all three commissioners, and they wanna know if there is an issue with either July 25, 26, 27, or August 1st and 2nd to meet on this issue.
Okay, where are the dates?
July 25, 6, and 7, and August 1 and 2, and you were sent this via email last week. July 13th, last Thursday at 2 p.m.
I got that, I don't think they must have still been bandying back and forth on dates or something.
There was a 1:54 PM email on June 20th. And that date didn't work, so on the 13th, Joe responded with the 5 options.
Oh, okay, that's right, he did, didn't he? Okay, what were the other ones, the 25th, 26th, or 27th?
Yep, or August 1 and 2. So I guess our best response would be if there are any issues with any of those dates.
I think if I was to go, the only issue I would have would be, RMDC is on the 27th.
Okay, okay.
Other than that, I
Mr.
could
Spann?
probably, can't go the first, probably, that'd be the only date I would see I would have conflicting if I was, if I wanted to go.
Okay,
I don't have a problem going if anybody else does.
okay.
I don't have anything between the 25th and 26th either.
And then the last thing, unless it's 1:45. Okay, I'll wait.
That bridge has to be exactly in the corner of the 3 counties there. It's all right from up the river.
Yeah, but the boundary got relocated because of river change.
This is a Meridian Bridge, oh. Nothing's, the river hasn't changed there.
Where's the Meridian, I know where the William.
Well, I assume that's the one that goes down right there, just past, where you go to Willow Creek.
Yeah.
I think that's the Meridian Bridge. Is that what they're talking about?
Yeah, the one Williams Bridge is a Sappington Junction, right?
Oh, could be, that'd be Madison and Galton, and maybe Jefferson on that, but that's a state bridge here though.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at the map.
The 3 counties have worked together in this area for a long, long time.
Yeah, this is nothing new.
Okay, 145. WWC Engineering Deep Creek Bridge Project open bids. You have anything to say, Sean, before we open bids?
No, other than we are still waiting FEMA approval. They did request some more information, which we will submit back to them this week. And hopefully soon we'll have approval, but until we get that approval, there will be no notice of award. So we'll just hold those until we get that approval.
What is more environmental information, or what is it they?
It's just the project's so complex and it's been going on for so long. They changed reviewers. And so this guy's getting caught back up. He noticed a few discrepancies, so we're trying to clear those up from way back to here. And we've got the information. I think it'll satisfy their concerns. We just gotta get it to them and make it as clean as possible so they can review it quickly and get it back.
But it would have nothing to do with the construction of the bridges at all, would it?
No, well, I guess some of it does, but the scope of work change is wrapped into the overall project. And so they're going through and reviewed the whole thing, like I say, they have a new reviewer. And so we're still providing additional background data on the entire project. It's like opening up Pandora's box every time you put this thing back to them, so.
Okay, well. It's from, looks like Highland Construction, you're not part of them? We're out of Belgrade.
Is that Highland, H-I-G-H-L-A-N-D?
H-I-G-H-L-A-N-D, looks like, and CS, I guess that's construction. Box 141 Belgrade. You may have these bids, didn't you? Sean, do you wanna come up here and check these as I'm opening them here?
Sure, I can come up and help you out. I'll just look over your shoulder.
Okay, that's just.
There's your bid bond,
Okay, there, you got,
their notification of addenda, and then there's their bid.
okay, Carson Lane. Is this a total?
Yeah,
Each
so
one,
that's-
or is each one bid separate or not?
There should be the total, yeah, there it is. That's the bid we go from.
Right here, okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, 587,700,
27.
oh, okay. Okay, so it's 578,727.
Yeah, 587,727. From Highland Construction.
Okay, no, that's where you can get that 587.
What we will do, if the commission would prefer, we'll take these back and tabulate them for you,
Okay,
and then do some diligence on the low bidder. Make sure all the bid categories match up, the unit prices are relevant, make sure there's no errors in math.
and you'll check the dig bond and all that
Yes,
stuff.
and make sure they've submitted all the required information, and then we'll come back next week and give you our recommendation.
Okay, so I'm just gonna hand this to you right now.
That's the
then.
policy we have, so I like hearing that, thanks.
This from Sletton Construction out of Great Falls. You're not with them, are you, or?
No. Keep flipping.
This is where they're going, I didn't know that.
One more flip. There you go.
What's in here? Okay. $574,000 and $574,700.
Yep.
Well, that's pretty close. John. Okay, Battle Ridge Builders out of,
That's these guys.
yeah, are you out of Belgrade or
Belgrade, yeah.
Belgrade? Okay, just as Battle Ridge Builders. Okay. Total price, $489,590.
And we only got 3 bids?
Yeah.
Is it okay if we look at those other 2 bid tabs? And usually we do.
I guess you could review them, it's a public forum.
Yeah, it's public info.
Yeah.
Just I'm kinda curious on what where the separation was, to be honest, cause it's pretty simple.
Heather was Highland. Oh, excuse me, here, I'll get this. Just do that. Okay, thanks.
Well, you don't need to review yours, I'm sure, but.
I'll use it to compare. There now.
This one's stapled, so you'll have to review that way. Well, we have an apparent low bidder. We've worked with all 3 of those construction companies, so due diligence should be pretty simple. And like I say, we just have to check them for accuracy, and we'll come back next week with a bid tabulation with our estimate, and go from there.
Fantastic. Good. And hopefully we'll have a FEMA approval.
Soon.
Yes.
I'll give you guys a quick update on Dry Creek while he's reviewing these.
Okay.
TJ, while Dana was out on vacation, got almost 90% of those culverts in. When Dana came back, they got the large culvert in that's about midway up the project, that replacement of the corrugated metal pipe, the 10-foot diameter one. And then all they have left to do is put in that concrete box, I believe, and then the project's complete.
That's on Dry Creek.
Dry Creek, yeah.
What, a 10-foot culvert went in?
Yeah, they had about
Was that replacing the one up above there?
a 9-footer there, 8-footer
okay.
there before. That really short, narrow one, kind of in the middle of the project. And then we replaced it with a 40-footer, so it gave them more room, widened the road out, actually put some fill in there. So
Excellent.
that should make the road crews to life a little easier.
Right.
Cool. I'm still good with it.
Okay.
Nothing really jumps out.
One last thing on Deep Creek. As you recall, the floodplain permit, obviously we couldn't process because we were floodplain administrator. Technical review is provided by DNRC. They didn't have any issues with it, issued a letter of approval of the technical part. We've taken the liberty of providing a staff report to you, which should be in your email boxes today. And just review that. There are some yellow highlighted areas where you'll have to fill in the blanks. And you, of course, can add whatever you would like to it.
Okay. Excellent.
And then I do have to check on.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, guys.
I do have to check on public notice to make sure that went in. But I'm pretty sure that was already done.
Okay.
But if not, we'll get that in this week. Shouldn't affect anything on the schedule. So we're waiting from Ron Spoon, I believe,
Okay.
on the permit, which I have verbal but not seen the actual document yet.
Why don't you stop by there?
Yeah,
Get on him.
I think I might just stop by on the way out of town. See if we can't prompt him a little bit. That seemed to work for Dry Creek, so.
Well, thank you. Hannah, I should come down here and
You bet.
take it to review and stuff.
You bet. Let's see, we get these. Do I need to put anything on the agenda for next week, or will you guys handle that?
I don't see any reason why we can't handle that.
Yeah,
Okay.
just that you're gonna,
We'll just be back with a bid tabulation and a recommendation. And of course, we will hold the notice of award until we get FEMA approval.
Sure.
But as I explained to all the contractors on site when we had the pre-bid meeting, there is a schedule, but if we're delayed another 2 or 3 weeks, they'll get another 2 or 3 weeks on their schedule. So we're not gonna take that away from them.
how many showed up for the,
I think we had 4 showed up.
oh, so, get to
And so, hey Mike.
3 of the 4 then?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, well,
So do you have, on that time frame? Do you have a procedure that they're gonna go through for which roads they're doing first?
So that'll be lined out at the start of the project. We let them decide, basically put it in the contract documents that at the onset of the project, they'll get with the county road department and decide which one they're gonna do first.
So Dan will kinda decide which one? Okay, okay. 'Cause
He'll get that call.
we'll be in the middle of school by the time they get going.
Yeah. So we gotta be
We're
kinda
getting
careful.
there anyway.
Yeah.
So Carson and, not Carson,
My guess is we should do Clopton first.
Clopton's first and then Lightning.
The other two, at least you got a way around.
Yeah.
On that one, it's
Yeah,
pretty
I
close.
Yeah,
oh, yeah, that's right.
I think that's what Dan was planning.
Yeah. The other ones can go well into the fall, it really won't interrupt
Yeah.
too much. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
unless you guys got any more questions?
Not a
I
one.
think so.
All right,
Thanks, Sean.
you bet.
Thank you.
The first two were pretty close there, weren't they?
I don't know what them guys are doing. I'd be going home pretty nervous if it was $100,000.
Left 100,000 on the table, yeah.
Well, I'm thinking that Slutton and Highland only bid it because they wanted to bid it, they didn't want the job. They got a bunch of extra money they take, if not, they're not gonna worry about it.
Highland, do you know anything about them?
Never heard of
I
it.
never either. Slatton, I heard a lot about them. Okay. Anything else?
We have, just one other thing. There is a tax bill right now for the, triple wide right next to the courthouse. We've gotta get on that before taxes are due. We already have a late notice going out. A tax lien process is started. So that's something we should tackle as soon as possible. We talked.
Who does it go to?
Well, that's what we're waiting on the county attorney to come back with an answer on that. At this point, we're kind of in a holding pattern. The problem is we can't be in a holding pattern much longer because this is now in tax lien process territory. So it's a rather big deal.
Do you know how much that is?
About $2,000, $897.55 twice. So about $2,000 almost.
How much?
$897.55.
So does the county pay that money to the state?
The county doesn't pay it. It's not ours at this point.
It hasn't been transferred yet.
Nope, and it's not the hospitals. We just don't know whose it is. Somebody needs to,
Who is it
Take care of
billed
this.
to on that statement?
the hospital, but it's not theirs. They gave it to us already, they paid for it, it's been filed. We'd had a discussion with the county attorney, he was gonna go back and get some legal information about how we work with a private business. And, we just haven't heard anything back yet, so we need to get on this. I asked Doug to share with him the tax lien paperwork, and letters, to hopefully let him know We can't wait any longer. So I wanted you guys to be aware that's gotta be coming.
Okay. Anything else? We'll adjourn at 2:00.